What is going on, everybody?
It is me, Tristan.
And me, Jackson.
And we are here with a morning cup with Cole. He's out here.
What's up, Cole?
Let's get started. We are trying out a coffee today that our father brought back from Costa Rica after him and our mother went down to Costa Rica for a little vacay. He brought it. They have been back for about a week. It's a small little tester bag. It says it's a medium roast organic. It is from the Valle es-con-DEE-do. Sorry, Valle es-con-DEE-do. He gave us the phonetic pronunciation as well. What a guy. He knows us. It's a natural reserve, has hotels and a farm in the Monteverde region of Costa Rica. Monteverde is the large area in the Tilaran mountains, the same area where the volcano Arenal is. So you know where we're talking about, Jack?
Dude, the volcano in Arenal is actually really cool. It is like the most active one in Costa Rica. It actively erupts
every day.
Daily?
Right? Yeah. You can see stones and boulders rolling down the mountain, and then at night on some days you can kind of see the lava flowing down continuously. Not very violent, just always spewing. Just spewing. So the general area is at an altitude in a tropical cloud forest. As such, it is warm, but not hot, and cloudy, foggy, misty for at least 50% of the time. The area is home to many, many different species of wildlife. Valle Escondido translates to Hidden Valley, is one of the many privately owned nature reserves in the area. It is a small reserve with many paths to walk through the cloud forest, looking for birds, animals, plants, waterfalls, and wonderful vistas. In addition to the reserve, they run a small hotel for visitors in the area. On part of their land, they operate a garden. From this garden, they grow food for the restaurant, fresh vegetables and herbs for their table. They also have a small plot of coffee plants. From this, they harvest coffee and roast it. Their coffee plot is so small that they cannot produce enough for their hotel guests. They can only produce small amounts to sell for customers at their small hotel office. If you want to take a guess, how this was just what, 80 grams?
Probably about 100
grams.
Because I did, what did I do? 40. So maybe it is 80.
Yeah. Okay. So guess how much that costs?
$25 US.
Wow. You really put it out there. No, it's only 10.
Oh.
For 80 grams though, that's
well, I knew it was a micro lot, like micro lot. Because as the description said, they don't even grow enough to service their guests at their hotel. I do believe this was the hotel where George and Patricia sent us the picture of them like looking over the pool over into the jungle.
Yeah.
It was like glamping almost.
Very, very much so glamping. For you that don't know what glamping is, that is glamorous camping.
It's the only kind of camping I'll do. I'm not trying to be warm and sweaty in a tent.
Yeah. Running water is huge for me. Bathrooms. Awesome.
Need a little bit of electricity, if you know what I'm saying.
I don't, but I don't know why that's funny. All right. So perfect. Medium roast, organic, micro lot. Let's go ahead and give it a sniffs test.
We don't have a lot of info on it. We don't know the wash. We don't know the varietal.
Definitely. Ooh,
it had
chocolatey.
So I couldn't tell when I was making it out there. I feel like the kids out there had just made some caramel syrup because I got real like caramel notes when I was making this, but then I smelled it and I was like, that's not coming from that.
I don't know. It has a little bit of a caramely smell. It's a very sweet, definitely a medium roast.
Oh, that is like a raisinette.
Yeah.
That's what that smells like. That specific chocolate. That is the first one that popped into my head.
Yeah, it smells very delicious. Definitely, like I said, a medium roast. It is pretty dark on the scale, but not too dark. But it smells good. I think I have my rating in my head already. Jack's picking through. He's trying to see if it was roasted correctly, seeing if it got, what's it called, peaked?
Tipped.
Tipped.
Tipping on fofos.
Tipped is where where it kind of roasts a little bit too quickly and then
too hot and too quickly, and the gas does the steam that's generated by the roasting just pops. Whoa, like that.
Pops at the end of it, and you can kind of see it gets tipped. According to Lee, that is a small indication of maybe not roasted correctly, but it does not look like it was that. All right, what are your sniffs? 1 to 10, no 7s.
8.5.
8.5 coming off the bat, real hot,
Real good.
real
Very
good.
chocolatey, like super chocolatey. One of the most chocolatey coffees,
Yeah.
like straight up that I've smelled.
I'm gonna go 8.1 out of 10.
Nets.
So Jack is correct. It has a very, very prominent smell. Smells good.
Was that like
Smells sweet.
well, it's not an 8.25. Like an 8.35.
8.3 sounds about right. That's where producer Cole could help us out. He gave a thumbs up, everybody. He's in. All right. So Jack's already gone in for the first sip.
I haven't sipped. I was sniffing.
He was sniffing. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get in the first sip. So from the looks of it, very dark compared to some of the other ones. I don't see a red tint like we have. I feel like we generally get those in the African coffees, the red. But actually, I kind of stand corrected.
Our black honey is
Yeah.
a little bit more red than brown.
But this is nice. It looks clean. I'm gonna assume it's probably washed, but we'll find out.
I would have to imagine it's washed.
Oh wow, that's bright.
Mm-hmm.
That is bright.
Didn't see that coming, to be quite honest with you.
This could be a natural.
Or a honeyed at least.
Yeah. So
Because they said it's a medium roast. So to me, well, I mean, it is medium. It's not like, dark medium. You're still going to get some brightness out of a medium. This is a lot more bright than just what I would say is a normal, like, Central American, Costa Rican coffee.
mm-hmm. I would probably say it's not a full medium. It's not the body of the coffee. That is kind of like the viscosity, how heavy it feels is, it's pretty light.
It's on the lighter side.
Yeah. Which could indicate a much lighter roast. But it's there. It's a good mixture. It's very, very bright.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm getting a little bit of lemony bitterness or lime. I'm gonna go with lime on the back end. Molasses on the front. And that's a pretty cool cardinal out there. Cole told me that I need to make eye contact, and this is why I don't, because I'm out here looking at cardinals outside.
Looking at people walk by.
Yeah. So I apologize.
It's going to stare at you.
Oh man, this is a very, very unique Costa Rican coffee. I would compare it towards our black honey opposed to our Hacienda and La Rosa. This is a very fruit forward,
I'm going to
citrusy
say brown
end.
sugar over molasses.
Brown sugar over molasses.
I
Oh,
think it's a little bit sweeter than molasses.
yeah. You're not wrong. Trying to get that fruit, the middle fruit.
There's a fruit in there that is not, because I went with lemon. Like when you said lemon, that hit me. Don't think it's the acidity's quite as bright as lime, like quite as sweet as lime.
Mhm.
I was telling Rachel today about that. Telling her about the flavor profiles, and about how, yeah, sure, citrus, they all kind of have a same acidity,
Mhm.
but like a lemon citrus is different from a tangerine citrus. Like a tangerine
Absolutely.
is going to be sweeter than a lemon.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, this is
I don't
a
know
tough
the
one.
fruit. I don't know the fruit.
I'm gonna go out
Not
of.
quite like raisins.
I'm gonna say guava.
Guava.
I just had the Natty Erg yesterday. This reminds me a lot of the Natty Erg that we got.
And
So
that is guava melon to me.
yeah, the Natty Erg is melon, guava, and white peach. I think this has a very similar profile, but on the bitter end, it's a little bit more that citrusy
Finishes very nicely. It's not. It's the citrus bitter, not like a burnt bitter.
Yeah,
which I think a lot of mediums can tend to go that way, but I think it's usually because to me they're a little over roasted.
Yeah. Do you have a third one or no?
I can't really nail down a fruit. I know there's fruit there, but I can't really nail it down.
All right. Well, we have there's no tasting notes on the bag, so we cannot confirm nor deny, but it's probably a good sign that Jackson and I both have similar taste.
That's why I wrote down each of ours.
Yeah. So I have lime, molasses, and guava. Jackson has
lemon, brown sugar, fruit.
And fruit. All right. There you have it. Now, taste. Again, we're doing 1 out of 10, no 7s. And the reasoning we do this is because
7s are for cowards.
7s are for cowards. But it's a cop-out. He's, kind of being funny and harsh. Not really, but it's it's a cop-out.
7 is a safe choice.
Yeah.
7 is you're not going to make anybody mad. You're not really taking a stance. You're right in the middle saying, yeah, it's average.
Yeah.
And you take that out and you have to either say it's good or it's
bad.
Not good.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of the times, I mean, we've said this previously, like, okay, I don't think it's a 6, so it's going to get an 8.
Yeah.
Or I don't think it's an 8, so it's going to get a 6.
Gives you more of that true rating instead of just being a 7. Because you'll average it out. Some people are going to say 6, some people are going to be 8, and that's going to be a 7. So it gives,
to me, that'll be a true 7, not just being like, oh, well, I just think it's a 7 because I don't want to make anyone mad or happy. So I was being a smidge dramatic with saying 7s are for cowards, but
the point is that
it makes you make a choice.
Yeah. I'm gonna give this an 8.8 out of 10. I like this a lot.
This is pretty damn good.
It's got a very nice profile for me. Nice body. It's very clean. The clarity is very nice. Low in acidity, even though it's got a very bright forward taste.
It's not terribly acidic.
No, it's nice.
It pops you with it, but it's a nice, well-rounded acidity. It's not just like, ooh, that's spicy.
Yeah, that's what I actually like about Costa Rican coffees is that it's a very nice, well-rounded cup. It has a little bit more sweeter notes than let's say Guatemalan or Brazil, where you're going to get a little bit more nuttiness.
Well, so like our Paradise, right?
Mm-hmm.
We love the Guji Ethiopian.
Yeah.
But by itself,
very bright.
It's very bright, very sweet. So that's why with our Paradise, we mix it with the Guatemalan. So it brings that chocolatey nuttiness towards the end and just rounds it out.
Yeah. So here is your coffee tip of the day before Jack gets into his ratings. So if you think about the tasting notes of coffee, right? You're going to go on a nice flavor roller coaster. You picture a bean here. It'd be cool if Cole can put in a bean here in a diagram that I'm going to draw for you. It's a roller coaster. So at the top, you're going to have this nice sour taste.
Start down here.
Yep.
Take your sip.
Whoop.
Sour, brightness
here. Then you're going to transition to the bottom end of the bean. And in between, that's going to be, okay, so it's divided. Like it looks like there's more on top of sour. Then there's a little sliver of sweet. And then there's a equal amount of sour to bitter. And as I was describing this to Christian yesterday, it looks like the sweet's a little bit smaller and less important, but that is the bridge in between the top, aka sour, and the bottom, aka bitter. And it's going to actually be a little bit bigger because it's going to be the transitioning point between the sour and bright down to the bitter. And when we're talking about bitter, we're not talking about bitter where everybody's had a burnt hot dog. Tastes disgusting.
Disgust.
Not the bitterness we're talking about. We're talking about when you have like a grapefruit or an orange or baker's chocolate that's not very sweet.
No, bitter.
That dry feeling in that tongue, that's the bitter.
About. Now, the other bitter that he's talking about, the burnt, the ashy, the carbony, is like, that means there's something wrong with your coffee.
Yeah. That either means it's over roasted or
over extracted,
or it's just a low quality bean. Or over extracted, pretty much over extracted. But that is the taste profile. You're going on this nice little roller coaster. It hits you up at the top of the sour, transition through the sweet, and then you end with a nice bitter. Normally, the sour, in my opinion, the reason why we talk about a roller coaster because it really hits you quick.
It's like the Top Thrill Dragster.
Yeah,
You just go right up. Now, if we didn't have a nice rounded out flavor, it would be just like the Top Thrill Dragster. You're up and down,
Yep.
and you're missing a lot of body in there, like a lot of the complexities. So that's why, like in the Paradise, to me, the Gucci has the tendency to be a boom and then down.
Yeah.
We add that other roast profile, that Guatemalan, to extend the drink of the coffee,
Get that transition point.
to make it a nice, well-balanced cup instead of just a fruit bomb in your mouth.
Yeah, you want the blue streak, not the Top Throw Dragster.
Precise.
So boom, there's your tip of the day. All right, Jack, back to the ratings. What are you giving this?
I'm going to give it an 8.8.
8.8. So we collectively agreed it's an 8.8 out of 10. That's pretty strong. That's pretty high up there.
Now, I think drinkability is where this one's going to suffer a little bit. And I think we have to, like, because A, it's not readily available. B, they don't grow that much of it. So this little bag was $10.
Plus the hotel fare.
Plus staying at the hotel, plus the trip to Costa Rica. So it's a little bit more than a $20 bag of coffee.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
But I would also throw in to drinkability the fact that it has been a cool experience.
Yes.
You had to go to Costa Rica to get it. You had to stay at this place in Monteverde to get it. And George brought it home for us. And he prepped us. He gave us a little rundown. So I think the overall drinking experience, I think this is why drinkability varies, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not a textbook like flavor or aroma. It is kind of the whole story. It is organic. They grow it themselves.
Yep. Story's pretty cool.
I'm going to give the drinkability, I'd have to give it an 8.8.
8.8. All right, he's going 8.8. I don't think it's that high. I'm going to have to walk through it with y'all right now. So it's very rare. Some might say that brings up the drinkability. Maybe it does. The readily availableness, I would say, brings it down a little bit. So those kind of balance out. It's really expensive, but like you said, it's rare and the experience is really nice. All right, so we're pretty much,
so maybe an 8 then.
We're pretty much washed right now. No, you keep your 8.
I mean, we can change.
Okay, well,
I'm just thinking here.
But here's where it gets me. While I do like the sourness and the brightness, it's a little much. Jack's finished his. Can I drink this every day? You know, it'd be tough. Can I drink it every week? Yeah, I think I can. So it's not an everyday drinker. It's more of a, let's say a Sunday coffee, right?
Like a treat yourself.
Treat yourself Sunday, right? So I'm going to go solid 8.
I think I agree with that. I was a little overzealous.
I mean, you had very good points.
Yeah, but I think, perhaps the story aspect of it, while it's awesome, so here's the deal. If it didn't have that story, I think it's going to be a 6.
Yeah.
Because of how hard it is to get. And
it's expensive.
It is expensive. So yeah, I think an 8 is fine.
All right, 8 out of 10. And so now we need to average out the 8.3, 8.8, and 8. That will be, it's going to be a pretty solid rating. So what we're going to do with Cole here in the future, he's going to try to
8.3 out of 10.
8.3 out of 10. I think that's probably slightly above halfway. I don't think that breaches the top 5. Maybe 10, 11, 12, I think. But Cole's going to try to show the ratings on the screen eventually. Hopefully we can get that. And then also kind of point out our ratings on the way. So hopefully soon you'll be able to actually see it outside of just in the comments below in our YouTube video. But for now, we'll get back to you on where that lands. But I would probably assume it's either just barely in the top 10 or outside of it, which is pretty solid.
Still pretty solid.
I think we've now gotten 30 plus.
Close to that. Gotta be.
So, yeah, pretty solid for this cup of coffee. Thanks, George, for bringing it back. Now we move on to what's going on in Cafe Rica in the Battle Creek area, and what is going on around town. So we just had an article released about us. Thank you, BCE, for the
newspaper,
for the good press. We appreciate it. Glad people are going to experience what we want to put on here in Battle Creek. We kind of talked about BC Cargo and how it launched us to the point where we are, and then talked about the Breaking Bread Bazaar, which is also another kind of launching point for other entrepreneurs. And so that's been going on. We're heading into July's. Man, it's been amazing so far, and it's just going to get better.
July's going to be a banger.
July's going to be a banger. We got 2 musicians performing from 9 until 1. It's going to be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have...
Cole keeps looking outside, so I keep looking outside.
Me too. And we have more vendors than we've ever had. This is going to be the most packed we've had. I believe we're pushing 30. I'm hoping weather stays nice like it has been for the last 2. Haven't had to cancel yet, but that's coming up. We also have 2 events coming up end of July, beginning of August. Jack, do you know what those are?
Well, I believe it's July 23rd.
Correct.
We have in conjunction with BC Pride Week.
Yep.
We have I believe it is the Drag Show Camp Showcase.
Correct.
At Cafe Rica, July 23rd at
7:30.
7:30.
Doors will open, I believe, at 7. I think the first performance is at 7:30. So
the last drag show was a hit.
Sold out.
So we pretty much immediately scheduled another one. And this one's going to bring some heat.
Yes, it is. It is filling up. Seats are filling up. So go ahead and grab your tickets on www.getcaferica.com and look for the Summer Camp Showcase tickets.
Yeah,
You can either buy a standing room or buy a table.
So what this is it's a culmination of a drag camp that they're going to be putting on, I believe, all week, where they're kind of like people are signing up to perform drag. And it's going to be the culmination of it. And there's going to be I don't want to say amateur showcase, but the campers are going to be performing for a little bit. And then also the counselors.
Yes. They will be performing, both the counselors and the campers. So that's coming on July 23rd. Next, August 5th, from 6 to 8:30 p.m., we have another art show. We got 3 amazing women artists coming in to our facility, reworking all of our artwork, and they're going to be showcasing it that night. We also have Brandon Fitzpatrick on the keys playing for your entertainment.
I can hear it now. It's hot.
It's hot. It's hot. So that is coming up August 5th. That is a free event. Come on down. Show everybody the support that we know you can. So that's 3 events coming up in the next 4 weeks. It's a busy schedule. Yeah.
What's the 3rd?
Yeah, the bazaar on the 31st.
And then keep a lookout for something at the end of August.
Yes.
We'll be posting more about that, letting y'all know about that, but it's going to be a heater.
All right. That is all for you today. Please like and subscribe our podcast on YouTube and Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So check us out on Facebook and Instagram as well. That's all I got.
I don't got anything else. So till we meet again, take it easy.